The night my parents lost everything, I made a promise to myself, a quiet one. Whispered into the empty room while I hugged my knees in the dark, I said, one day, I'll rise. Day. I won't have to beg anyone for anything. At that moment, I didn't know what destiny had planned, I didn't know who would betray me. And I definitely didn't know that the very people who mocked me would one day stand at my office door, asking me for a job. But everything started in that tiny apartment we moved into the year everything collapsed. The peeling walls, the thin mattress I shared with my little sister, the sound of my mother crying every night. All of it carved something sharp inside me. School, I smiled. I acted normal, but everyone knew we weren't like them anymore. And no one reminded me of that more than Sabrina, the girl with the perfect hair, perfect family, perfect life. She used to be my friend when we were kids. But the moment my life fell apart, she changed. Suddenly I was pathetic, poor, a charity case. And her favorite line, girls like you don't make it. You try too hard. I swallowed her words like poison. I didn't fight back. Not yet. Because I knew one thing. Life always gives you the stage you deserve, if you're patient enough to wait for your entrance. I wasn't the loudest girl, I wasn't the prettiest, I wasn't the type to scream and shout for attention. But what no one knew was how hungry I was to succeed. Every day after school, when others went to parties or cafes, I went to the empty public library. I studied business, marketing, human psychology. I watched free online videos about branding, online selling, graphic design. I had nothing but knowledge that was free. I started my first small online shop. At 14, just hand-painted phone cases. It wasn't much, but the first time I made $20, I stared at the screen for a long time. $20. But they were mine. Earned with my skills, no pity. No charity. No Sabrina pointing and laughing. I kept going. Night after night. Learning. Testing. Failing. Starting again. But whenever something went wrong, I always heard Sabrina's voice in my head. Girls like you don't make it. And every time I worked harder. Because her words didn't break me, they built me. By the time I was 16, my small shop began gaining traction. I upgraded from cheap phone cases to customizable accessories, digital art, and event decorations. Word spread. People liked my work, and that's when Sabrina came back. Of course. She approached me one afternoon, smiling like she had always cared about me. Hey, she said softly. I heard you're doing that little business thing. That's so cute. Cute. She said it like a joke she was too polite to laugh at. But then she added, actually, have an idea. Let's work together. Can help you. You know I'm popular. People listen to me. Sounded tempting. But part of me felt something strange, like a cold hand tightening around my spine. Still, I was young, hopeful, naive. I said yes. For months we worked side by side. At least that's what it looked like. In reality, I did everything. She took the credit. She told people, oh yeah, this is basically my company. I manage everything. She introduced herself as the co-founder. She made decisions without asking me. She even ordered expensive supplies under my name, leaving me to pay for them. But I stayed quiet. Because I wanted to believe she had changed. Until the day she destroyed everything. It happened during our school's big spring festival. I had designed a full stall, handmade crafts, custom orders, gift packages. IT was my biggest project so far. The night before the festival, when I went to check the items at the school storage room, my entire setup was wrecked. Boxes smashed, decorations torn, products stolen or hidden. And standing behind me, pretending to act shocked, was Sabrina. She said, oh my God. How could this happen to you? That's so sad. I guess you'll just have to step back and let me run the booth. Her booth. The booth that I created. That I stared at her for a long time. Something inside me sank, then hardened. I didn't cry, I didn't shout. I just looked at her and said softly, someday, you'll regret this. She laughed, actually laughed. Please, don't be dramatic. You don't even have a future in this stuff. That was the moment something switched inside me. The quiet girl in me died. I left the festival early, went home, sat on my bed, and I let the silence wrap around me. Then I whispered the same promise I made years ago. I will rise. And this time my voice didn't tremble. That summer, I rebuilt everything that I saved. Every dollar that I upgraded my skills, that I learned how to market online properly. How to reach people. How to grow an audience. I opened a new store under a new brand name and no one knew it was me. This time, I didn't tell Sabrina, I didn't tell anyone at school. I worked in secret, and my brand started going viral on social media, not because of luck, but because I studied the algorithm like my life depended on it. Orders flooded in. Influencers reached out. People copied my designs, and my bank account grew from double digits to thousands. By the time I was 18, I registered my business legally. By 21, I opened my first small office. And at 23, I became the founder and CEO of a fast-growing digital brand and design studio. The girl they mocked. The charity case. The girl with the worn-out shoes and cracked phone, she was gone. I had become someone else. Someone they never imagined. Success changes people. Not me, but the people who once thought they were above me. One morning, my assistant came into my office holding a resume. "Someone's here for an interview," she said. She applied for the junior marketing position. I nodded. "Send her in." And when the door opened, I felt time freeze. It was Sabrina, older. Less confident. Not the perfect princess she once pretended to be. She didn't recognize me at first. Why would she? Back then, she never actually saw me. I waited, watched her sit nervously, watched her force a smile. "Hi," she said. "I'm really hoping to work here. Your company is amazing. I've been following your work for years." Years. She had no idea she was talking to the girl she once destroyed. I leaned back and folded my hands. "Tell me," I asked calmly, "why did you leave your last job?" She hesitated. "My previous boss said I wasn't reliable enough." I raised an eyebrow. "Why would they say that?" A drop of sweat slid down her cheek. I guess some people misunderstand me. I'm actually very loyal." Loyal. The word almost made me laugh, but I didn't. Instead, I finally said the word she never expected. "Sabrina, do you recognize me?" She blinked, frowned, looked closer, and then her face drained of color. "It's you." "Yes," I whispered. "The girl who had no future. The one you said would never succeed." Silence swallowed the room. She started apologizing immediately. "I was young, I was stupid, please, you have to understand." I held up my hand. "I'm not here to punish you," I said softly. "Life already did that. You ended up sitting here asking for a job at the company of the person you tried to destroy." She looked down, ashamed, trembling. "Do I get the job?" she finally asked. I took a breath, looked at her. Really looked at her. The old me would have wanted revenge, that would have wanted her to feel the same pain she gave me, but I wasn't that girl anymore. "No," I said gently. "You don't get the job. Not because of the past, but because I need people I can trust." She nodded slowly, tears forming at the corner of her eyes, and then I added, "But I don't hate you. In fact, thank you." She looked up, confused. "Thank me?" "Yes, 'cause every time you pushed me down, you made me stronger." She left quietly, and I sat there for a long time, feeling light. Not victorious, not proud, just free, because the greatest revenge isn't destroying someone, that it's succeeding without them. A year has passed since that day, and my company has grown even bigger, and my team is loyal, and my life is stable, and my heart is peaceful. Sometimes I think about Sabrina, not with anger, but with understanding. Some people break others because they are broken inside. Some people bully because they fear being forgotten. Some people betray because they don't know how to build. But the truth is simple, ***, the best revenge is becoming someone they can never reach. Someone their words no longer touch. Someone who proves, not through anger, but through success, that they were wrong about you. ***, so if anyone listening has ever been mocked, underestimated, belittled, remember this ***, your value isn't defined by what they see, it's defined by what you build. ***, they said I'd never succeed, they said I was nothing, they said girls like me don't make it. But today, they work for me, or at least, they try to. And that is enough.